This was when I was in my HSC period, like, so when I was very busy with studies, right? Like, you needed mark to get into uni and stuff, so you have to, like, study to get good marks, right? It was like the final exam of your high school life. The final exam. It's where everything ends, kind of. The year leading up to that, I had a really bad year, you know? Really shit scores with everything. I kind of peaked at, like, year 9, and then I just became such a, like, you know, my parents, they were always never satisfied with the work I did. They were always like, you can do better, why are you stopping here, kind of shit, right? And I just kind of wanted to give up, right? Was the whole thing I had in me, which is what I did in year 10, year 9. I just kind of gave up, and I just went full on basketball mode. I just completely gave up my studies. And my mom, when I was in year 12, early year 12, she was like, you're gonna get nowhere in life, this, that. I was just like, you don't see my perspective. All I wanted was like a little bit of fucking well done or something. So it's tough, you know, when other kids on holidays are doing all these other stuff, but you send me to these like holiday tutoring stuff. And I didn't even complain. I used to go every day, get work done, do all this shit. And then my mom's like, of course, that's your job. You're a student. You're a kid. That's what you're meant to do. And we had like this huge fucking argument, right? The argument kind of concluded as us just going, okay, just we do our own thing. If I fuck my life up, it's not on you. It's on me. You can fucking abandon me, like, kick me out, do whatever, okay? I think my mom was really shocked. It wasn't really my parents. My dad was like, I think you can do whatever you want. And I think the reason why she was so harsh on me was because she always saw herself as a failure. My aunt is a doctor, and she went to the best university in Japan. Meanwhile, my mom couldn't get into a good university in Japan, so she went to Australia, and that's where she met my dad. She went to uni there. You know, it's a bit sad, but it's a bit funny at the same time, because my aunt sees my mom as the successful one, you know? Giving birth to 3 kids, having a family, being able to raise us all, and, you know, us being adults and going into, you know, society. My aunt sees that as successful, and my mom sees my aunt as being successful. Getting into the best university, becoming a doctor, living such a wealthy life. That's what she sees. Yeah, it's always grass is greener on the other side, right? And I only found out like a couple of days ago, but my aunt was like, you know, after that argument you guys had, your mom, at nighttime, she was crying and calling me, and like, she said like she didn't mean it that way, and she thought she was, you know, doing the best thing she could for me, but then, like, I didn't think of it that way, and I kind of got sad hearing that. I was like, yo, what the fuck? It's like, bro, she should have just told me straight up. Why does she have to be such a fucking hard ass and just act like she's so tough and she doesn't... Why didn't she just straight up say, you know, it's like, I'm doing it because, you know, it's for your future. Like, you know, she could have just said so. After I graduated, here's the thing. My mom did kind of, like, calm down a lot, though. Like, she's always been like, Axel, after all, it is your life. You're right. You know, it's like, I want you to do what you want to do, and, you know, it's like an anime arc of where the main protagonist confronts his parents, and his parents become more, like, lenient with what the main protag does. It's kind of like that, you know? Which is what happened during my HSC exam. My ATAR was absolute dog shit. I got, like, a 55 or some shit, or, like, a 60. Around that, I got. With that score, you cannot get into fucking uni. So I was in Japan, and I woke up, got my ATAR score, and I was like, okay, this is dog shit, but I have to tell my parents about it, because, you know, they raised me this far, and it is what I gotta do. So I went to my parents, and I was like, okay, so the ATAR mark I got was this. I know it's really shit, but I just wanted to say thank you so much for, you know, putting in all your time, resource, and everything into raising me, and I know this is bad mark, I can't get into uni in one shot, and you're gonna be worried and stuff, but don't worry. I was like, I am the Axel Syrios of Holostars EN. I am gonna cook. Watch me. And then they're like, it's okay. You're a son after all. We trust you, kind of stuff. And I decided to take a diploma course. So it's like it's still university, but it's like a diploma course. And what happens is like you study that 1 year at that uni. If you get like a good enough mark, you can move on into the actual bachelor's course, which is what I'm doing now. Bachelor's of, I forgot what bachelor I'm fucking doing, but that's what happened. And my parents are like, oh, good job. And I told them, it's like, see, even you don't do the best in high school, like in life, you can still do stuff like this and get on. And which is why I was like to my mom, is like, I know like you're gonna be really strict to my little brother because it's the last kid that you have and you want to give it everything, and that's fine. If you want to be strict with him, but for the same amount of strictness that you give him, you have to give him the same amount of kindness, you know? And like, don't be like a tough person and like try to hide it, being like, I'm not being kind to you. It's like kids won't understand. And if you need my help, I'm always here, you know, like money wise or like just talking to kids wise because you're too embarrassed to do so. I'll be here for you, okay? So like, we gotta work on this together, right? And my mom was like, yeah, you're true. You're right, you know, thank you, son, kind of shit. After like 2 years of being in uni bachelor's degree, I got into Holostars and I told my mom about it. I got this new job that I'm gonna be doing and it's gonna be full-time. And they're like, that sounds sussy ass shit. What the fuck is this? It's like, no way. Because like when I was doing my own song stuff, right? I told them about it and they were like, if that's like what you like to do, if that's your hobby and if that's your dream, pursue it, right? And I pursued it and I got to Holostars and I was like, so like I got into Holostars and I'm gonna be working here. And they're like, with your dog shit singing? Son, I don't know about that. And they were like fucking shitting on me, bro. I'm not even kidding, they were shitting on me.